What if Vince McMahon decided to give Randy Savage another shot at the top and also to put over some of the younger stars with a heel run instead of staying on commentary and being just a brand ambassador for most of the year? We would begin shortly after WrestleMania X, where Savage would defeat Crush in a last man standing match, which was originally his final televised match in the WWF. At the March 21st Monday Night Raw, after Jeff Jarrett defeated Koko B. Ware, he gets in Savage's face and Savage pumps his fist, which makes Jeff back off. Savage poses on the table with Jarrett in the ring. Savage jumps in and they get into a fight. Koko decks Jeff and Savage throws him to the outside. The following week on Raw, Savage faces Jeff Jarrett in a singles match only to have Jarrett DDT Savage on the outside and winning by countout. This incident frustrates Savage, and on WWF Mania, Savage becomes erratic and assaults Todd Pettengill, his co-host. After the 10-man tag match that was originally scheduled for WrestleMania, Jeff Jarrett celebrates with his team backstage till Savage takes down Jarrett and starts fighting off the rest of his team members. On April 11th Raw, Jeff Jarrett cuts a promo about how he's the greatest country singer who defeated the legendary Macho Man. At ringside, Savage blasts on the microphone to Vince McMahon that he quits the WWF. On the April 25th Raw, Jeff Jarrett is in a match for the Intercontinental Championship against Razor Ramon, and Savage, who was in the crowd, cost Jarrett the match. At the May 2nd Raw, Macho Man, now all in black, cuts a promo in the ring saying that he has returned to the WWF because he's sick and tired broadcasting besides the chump Vince McMahon, and issues out a challenge to Jeff Jarrett. On the May 9th Raw, Savage smashes a chair over Jarrett on the outside and lands the elbow drop to win the match. Vince, who is frustrated, confronts Savage during a commercial break only for Savage to shove Vince down. On the May 16th Raw at King's Court, Jerry Lawler talks about how he likes this side of the Macho Man and interviews Rowdy Roddy Piper. Lawler asks about how Roddy thinks of the Macho Man, and Piper says he thinks he's gone nuts and should get committed into the asylum. At Superstars, Savage is interviewed at the Heartbreak Hotel with Shawn Michaels, and he says that he thinks Piper is a Hollywood punk that hasn't been in the ring for a long time and challenges him to a match at the King of the Ring. On the June 6th Raw, Jerry Lawler promises the Macho Man that he will bring him Piper. Instead, a young kid dressed up as Piper with a leather jacket comes out. Randy isn't happy but starts to laugh when Lawler makes the young man kiss Lawler's foot. The young man insults Randy and Randy snaps, clotheslining the young man. He goes to the top and is about to land an elbow drop till Gorilla Monsoon was able to stop him just in time. Roddy cuts promos from his movie studio trailer accepting the challenge and wants to beat up Savage for all the kids out there. At King of the Ring, Randy Savage takes on Roddy Piper, and in the end lands an elbow drop. Piper's foot was on the ropes, but the referee counts to 3. Piper argues with the ref and decides to put the sleeper on Savage, who sleeps, and Piper celebrates anyway. Later that night, as Owen Hart wins the King of the Ring, Savage comes out to congratulate Owen. On the June 27th Raw, Owen is interviewed by Lawler at King's Court and talks about how he won the King of the Ring and demands a title shot against Bret next week on Raw. Randy Savage comes out and tells Owen that he's got his back and wants to see Owen win the WWF title. Bret accepts the match backstage. On the July 4th episode of Monday Night Raw, which will be an Independence Day special here, Bret Hart defends his title against Owen Hart and wins the match with the sharpshooter. Savage lifts Owen up and suddenly beats him down to much heat. Savage goes to the top rope for an elbow drop till Bret runs back for the save. Savage runs to the outside talking trash. On the July 11th Raw, Randy Savage issues out a challenge to Bret Hart for the title. Meanwhile, an enraged Owen cuts a backstage promo saying he doesn't want Bret's help ever, but wants to face Savage in the ring. The following week, Bret refuses to give Savage a title shot. On the August 1st Raw, Savage pummels Owen in their match, and while Owen does get in the sharpshooter, Savage rope breaks and gets in a small package to win. Savage gets on the mic and says that Bret is a coward who could never face him. The following week on Raw, Bret retains the title from the 1-2-3 Kid. However, Savage rushes in and knocks down Bret. He throws him to the outside, and just like with Ricky Steamboat back in 1986, Savage lands a double axe handle from the top on the outside, with Bret landing on the railings, and later nearly smashes Bret's larynx with a ring bell. As Savage was about to attempt it again, WWF officials finally rush in to stop him. Bret later accepts the challenge, saying he got lucky he wasn't injured. Meanwhile, during August, we noticed that Luna Vachon kept appearing every time Savage was at ringside. Savage cuts a backstage promo accepting Luna Vachon as his manager and says that since he beat Owen, he should be crowned as the Macho King with Luna as his queen. The Macho King is back. At SummerSlam 1994, Bret gets in the sharpshooter only for Luna to smash Bret with the scepter from the outside and Savage getting in the pin and becoming the new WWF champion. Over the next few weeks, Savage would appear in promos, and in a non-title match with Lex Luger, Luger would pin Savage clean. Meanwhile, The Undertaker, who returned at SummerSlam, starts to make a challenge for the WWF title. The Undertaker wins a 20-man battle royal to become the #1 contender. Dirt sheets start to reveal that Savage is unhappy with his new contract offering, with his contract expiring on October 31st. Savage eventually agrees to a short-term extension of his current contract till WrestleMania. The Undertaker wins the WWF title at the Survivor Series with the tombstone on Savage. Luna leaves the WWF the next night. At the Royal Rumble, Savage makes his return in the Rumble match, only to be thrown out by Lex Luger. On the outside, he gets into an altercation with NFL player Lawrence Taylor, who was making fun of him. This leads to Lawrence Taylor taking on the Macho King at WrestleMania 11, with Taylor going over that night. Dirt sheets reveal that Savage was disappointed with the storyline and having to job to an NFL player. Savage leaves the WWF for WCW as Vince McMahon on the next night on Raw wishes him the best of luck in his future endeavors. What did you think of this run for Savage? Was Savage originally unfairly pushed aside throughout 1994? Comment below, subscribe, and thank you for watching In the Plot.